Imagine opening your eyes not to the hum of traffic or the glow of your phone, but to the distant sound of a crow and the soft rustle of bamboo outside a paper screen door. The air is cold, and the faint scent of smoke and rice fills your lungs. You've somehow woken up in feudal Japan, a land of samurai, peasants, and shoguns. But before you take a step outside, remember this. You wouldn't last a day here. The year is 1582, and Japan is not the peaceful paradise of cherry blossoms and kimonos you imagine. It's a country divided by warlords, bound by ancient codes, and shaped by fear, duty, and survival. You rise from the straw mat, your feet touching the uneven floor of a small wooden hut. The first thing you notice is silence. A silence so deep it feels sacred. There's no electricity, no running water, no comfort of warmth. You're wearing a rough cotton robe called a kusode, and outside, the villagers are already awake. Men are tilling the fields, women are carrying water, and the smoke of early morning fires curls into the mist. You step outside and instantly the cold bites your skin. The ground is damp from the night dew. A farmer glances at you, your face unfamiliar, your clothes strange, and quickly bows, not out of respect, but fear. In feudal Japan, strangers meant danger. The social order here is absolute. At the top stands the emperor, distant and divine. Beneath him, the shogun, the true ruler, controls the land through power and the sword. Below him, the daimyo, the lords who command armies. Beneath them, the samurai, elite warriors bound by the Bushido Code. And at the bottom, the peasants, artisans, and merchants, the ones who make the world run but have no voice. You, standing here, don't belong to any class, and that alone is enough to make you a threat. As the sun climbs over the rice fields, you begin to walk toward the village. The path is narrow, lined with wooden fences and thatched roofs. Children stare from doorways. Old women whisper prayers. The local magistrate's men patrol the area, samurai in simple armor, their hands resting casually on the hilts of their katanas. They are calm, polite, and terrifying. A wrong glance could mean death. You try to speak, but your accent is strange, your words clumsy. They frown. One of them steps forward, studying your face as if you're some kind of ghost. In feudal Japan, authority isn't questioned, it's obeyed. The samurai asks who your master is. You don't have one. That's mistake number one. Without a master, you are a ronin, a masterless wanderer. And ronin are often treated as criminals or beggars. You stammer an answer, but he interrupts you. His tone is calm, but there's a blade hidden in every syllable. He tells you to kneel. You obey, trembling. And for the first time, you understand how fragile life is here. Mercy is rare. Honor means everything. Disobedience, even in confusion, is unforgivable. The samurai finally spares you, not out of kindness, but boredom, and walks away. You're left kneeling in the dirt as the villagers return to work, pretending not to see you. Welcome to your first morning in feudal Japan. You walk to the edge of the rice fields, where men bend under the sun, ankle-deep in mud. Their faces are weathered, their hands calloused. Each grain of rice they plant could mean life or death for their families. Taxes are high, famine is common, and droughts bring ruin. Yet, they work without complaint. In this world, obedience is survival. The village headman watches everyone with a sharp eye, ensuring no one steals or slacks. You see a child, no older than 10, carrying a wooden bucket heavier than himself. He doesn't complain. He knows better. Even children are taught early. Duty before comfort, honor before happiness. You help him lift the bucket, and for a brief moment he smiles. But his mother rushes over, grabs him, and bows deeply in apology. Helping outsiders can draw suspicion. You're reminded again, you don't belong. As the day warms, the smells of food drift through the air. Boiled rice, miso soup, grilled fish. But unless you're a samurai or lord, you eat sparingly. Meals are small, often just rice and pickles, sometimes a bit of vegetable. You sit near a fire and taste the simplest meal of your life. It's warm, but plain. Still, You savor it, because in this world, food is never wasted. Hunger is a constant companion. As you eat, you notice how quiet everyone is. Conversations are brief, respectful, and always careful. Words can be dangerous. Insults, even accidental ones, can end lives. The Bushido Code demands absolute respect, not just in combat, but in speech, posture, and manner. You shift slightly, and the elder across the fire gives you a sharp glance. You sat before him without bowing first. Another mistake. The smallest breach of etiquette can brand you as uncultured or dishonorable. And dishonor here is worse than death. As the afternoon sun burns through the haze, you wander toward a nearby temple. Its wooden beams are dark and weathered, the scent of incense thick in the air. Monks chant softly, their voices low and rhythmic. You watch them move with calm precision, sweeping the temple floor, tending the gardens, bowing to statues of Buddha. In a land ruled by war, this is one of the few places where peace still exists. Yet even here, hierarchy reigns. The senior monks teach, the novices serve, and outsiders, like you, are watched with quiet suspicion. One of them offers you tea. You bow deeply, mimicking what you've seen. He smiles faintly. You did it right this time. The tea is hot and bitter, but somehow comforting. He tells you of impermanence, how all life, joy, and pain pass like the wind through the bamboo. You listen, not realizing you're hearing the philosophy that shaped an entire nation's soul. By evening, the temple bell rings, echoing across the valley. It's time for prayers. Villagers light lanterns and return home. The sky glows orange, then deep purple. You walk along a dirt road lined with flickering candles. Fireflies dance above the fields. It's beautiful, but beneath that beauty lies exhaustion. The farmers collapse into sleep, the samurai polish their blades, and somewhere far away, armies march through the mountains. Japan is at war again. Rival daimyos battle for control, their samurai dying in the thousands for honor, land, and pride. In the distance, you hear the faint sound of drums, a reminder that peace is fragile. You find shelter in a small hut, offered by an old woman who mistakes you for a traveling monk. She gives you a bowl of rice and a place by the fire. Her hands tremble as she speaks of the taxes, the soldiers, the famine that took her husband. She fears the next raid. You promise her peace, though you can offer none. Outside, the night deepens. Wolves howl in the forests, and the wind whispers through the reeds. You lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how anyone survived here. Every breath, every word, every step is dictated by rules, rank, and fear. There is no freedom, only duty. The next morning, the world wakes before the sun. You hear the rhythmic clack of wooden sandals on dirt, the low hum of prayers, the splash of water as women wash rice in streams. The air smells of damp earth and smoke. You follow the villagers to the fields again, where they bow to the rising sun, a gesture of gratitude for another day of life. The samurai return, patrolling in silence. You watch one practice with his sword, every movement flawless. The katana gleams in the light, its blade forged by fire and folded 1,000 times. It's more than a weapon. It's a soul. He finishes his routine, wipes the blade, and bows. You wonder what it takes to live like that. Disciplined, bound by honor, and ready to die without hesitation. Later, you visit the castle of the local daimyo. It rises above the village, a fortress of stone and wood surrounded by moats and guards. The road is lined with kneeling peasants. No one dares to look up. Inside, the air smells of lacquer and incense. The lord sits upon a platform, his face hidden behind calm detachment. You bow deeply, your head almost touching the floor. Speaking without permission is forbidden. The daimyo's power is absolute. His word can decide life or death in seconds. You feel your heart race. Every moment here is a test of humility. You barely breathe as he gestures for you to rise. He says nothing, only studies you, then waves his hand for you to leave. You walk backward, bowing again and again until you reach the door. Only when you're outside do you exhale. It's then you realize, in feudal Japan, Survival isn't about strength or intelligence. It's about respect, silence, and obedience. The day grows hot, and the scent of the fields mixes with the salt from the nearby sea. Fishermen haul nets filled with writhing fish, their backs bent, their skin cracked from sun and wind. Children carry baskets of seaweed, and mothers hang clothes on bamboo poles. There's harmony in their rhythm, but also resignation. Life is hard, but they endure, not out of choice but necessity. As evening approaches, drums echo again. A messenger rides through the village. News of another war. The men are called to fight, leaving behind wives and children. The women bow, not crying. Tears are useless here. They know the truth. Many won't return. The old woman who sheltered you bows too, her eyes wet, but her voice steady. "It is the way," she whispers. You help her tie a small cloth around her son's wrist, a charm for protection. He smiles, nervous but proud. You want to tell him not to go, but you can't. In this world, duty outweighs fear. The next day, you follow the departing soldiers to the edge of the forest. They march in silence, banners fluttering in the wind. The clang of armor and the rhythm of drums fill the air. You can feel the tension, the mix of honor and doom. When battle comes, it's brutal and fast. Arrows fly, swords clash, and screams pierce the fog. There's no glory, only chaos. The samurai fight like shadows, graceful and deadly. When one falls, another takes his place. You hide behind a rock, heart pounding, realizing how fragile life truly is here. The smell of blood and smoke fills your nose. The ground is slick with mud and sweat. A wounded soldier crawls past you, whispering a prayer before he dies. You stay still until the noise fades, until only the crows remain. That night, back in the village, the survivors return. The air is heavy with grief. Lanterns flicker beside small shrines built for the dead. The monk from the temple comes to offer prayers, his voice calm, but filled with sorrow. You sit among the villagers silent. You've only been here a short time, yet you feel centuries of pain and resilience pressing on your chest. Feudal Japan isn't just a place, it's a test of discipline, respect, and survival. As the days pass, you learn the rituals, bowing, silence, gratitude. You learn to work, to listen, to endure hunger and cold without complaint, and slowly the people begin to accept you. You're still an outsider, but no longer a threat. One evening, the samurai who once threatened you visits the village. He recognizes you but says nothing. Instead, he sits beside the fire, removes his helmet and drinks tea. His face is tired, scarred, human. You realize even he is trapped, not by enemies but by honor. Before he leaves, he bows slightly to you. It's not respect, but acknowledgement that you've endured, at least for now. As the days turn to weeks, you find a strange peace in the rhythm of life. The simplicity, the silence, the small moments of beauty, they begin to feel natural. But you also know the truth. One wrong word, one act of defiance, and it could all end instantly. That is feudal Japan. Beautiful, disciplined, deadly. When you finally close your eyes again, lying on a straw mat as the night wind brushes through the shoji doors, you think of your world, of comfort, freedom, and choice. Here, those are luxuries beyond imagination. You survived a day, maybe two, but deep down you know the truth whispered by every soul who lived in this era. You wouldn't last long. Feudal Japan demands everything, your strength, your obedience, your very soul. And as the temple bell rings in the distance, fading into the cool night, you understand why.